She looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'm going out tonight." I told her calmly, "If you walk out that door, don't come back." She smirked, that smug little smirk that said she thought she had me wrapped around her finger, and then she walked out. I didn't stop her. But what she didn't know was that decision would be the biggest mistake of her life. My name's Derek, and for 4 years, I thought I was living in a solid, loving relationship. We met at a mutual friend's birthday. She was magnetic, confident, funny, the kind of woman who could light up any room she walked into. I was instantly drawn in. The first year was everything I could have dreamed of: spontaneous trips, late-night talks, and laughter that filled our small apartment. She'd call me her rock, said I made her feel safe. I was building something real, or at least I thought I was. But slowly, the tone shifted. The affection turned into distance, the smiles turned into sighs, and the I love yous became fewer and fewer. It started with little things. Her phone always flipped face down. Sudden girls' nights that seemed to multiply every weekend. New outfits, new perfume, but not a word about where she was going. When I'd ask, she'd roll her eyes. "Derek, not everything's about you. I just need space." Space. That's the word people use when they're already halfway gone. Then came that night. She was getting ready, full makeup, heels she hadn't worn in months, and that red dress I bought her for our anniversary. When I asked where she was headed, she just smiled and said, "Out." Something in me snapped. I told her, "If you walk out that door, don't come back." She didn't even flinch. She smirked, grabbed her purse, and walked out. That night, I sat there. Every minute that passed felt heavier than the last. I couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I opened her laptop. She'd left it unlocked, mistake number 1. And right there, in her messages, I found everything. A conversation thread with someone named Ryan. Flirty texts, photos, hotel receipts, even a message saying, "Don't worry, I told him I was going out with the girls. He's too naive to suspect anything." My hands shook as I read it. Not because I was angry, but because I realized just how blind I'd been. All those late nights, all those girls' weekends. I wasn't paranoid. I was patient. Too patient. I didn't yell. I didn't chase her. I waited. When she came home the next morning, makeup smudged, heels in her hand, she looked surprised to see my bags packed. "Where are you going?" she asked, voice trembling slightly. I handed her a small box. Inside it were copies of her messages, photos, and screenshots printed out neatly. "I'm going," I said calmly. "You can keep everything else, except my self-respect. You already lost that." She froze, then started begging, crying, saying it was just a mistake. But I was already out the door, and the best part? A week later, I found out the guy she'd been seeing was married, and his wife found the same messages through a mutual friend. Let's just say her world came crashing down twice as hard. Months later, I was in a much better place. I started working out again, focusing on my own life, traveling solo, rediscovering who I was before she broke me. Then one evening, she texted me out of nowhere. "I miss you. Can we talk?" I didn't even respond, because sometimes silence is the loudest revenge. Never beg someone to stay who's already looking for the door. If they can walk away that easily, let them, because the peace you'll find afterward is worth more than the love you lost. If you've ever been betrayed, but came out stronger, you know what this feels like. Subscribe to SilkMirror for more stories of heartbreak, truth, and transformation.